interrupting your ecstatic chanting. Please forgive me for that. I'm going to read a quote by His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. Real success in life is not measured by what we accumulate, but by how much we transform our heart. When we remember Krishna in happiness and in difficulty, life becomes a journey of spiritual growth rather than a series of problems. I'll repeat again. Real success in life is not measured by what we accumulate, but how much we transform our heart. When we remember Krishna in happiness and in difficulty, life becomes a journey of spiritual growth rather than a series of problems. Our Bhagavatam speaker will be joining us shortly. Meanwhile, may I know who all have joined the call today?
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees. This is Surendra from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Surinder Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Amritamani Devi Dasi. Dandavat Pranam to you and all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amritamani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for your association, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all devotees. This is Malini from Ashburn, Virginia. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Malini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. This is Radha Seva from Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Radha Seva Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Brahmanandini Mataji and all the assembled devotees. Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamarasika Devidasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Sham Rasika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining the call. I see that our speaker has joined. Would anyone quickly like to announce, or we can move on with Bhagavatam class?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunj Rasadas from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Nikunjaras Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Nitya Harinam Sangha Bhagavatam class. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are extremely fortunate to have His Grace Raghunandan Prabhu joining us from Chantilly, Virginia. Prabhu is going to enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 17, Verse 18. Prabhu, whenever you are ready, you may take over the call.
Hare Krishna, can you please give me the co-host?
Yes, Mataji and Prabhuji, could you please...
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
You are the co-host, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, Prabhu.
So we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 17. The chapter is dealing with Aditi, right? Because the previous couple of chapters, Aditi was lamenting
that her sons, who are her sons? Indra, the demigods, right? So they are deprived of their heavenly kingdom. The asuras are ruling it. So she is feeling very morose about the state of her sons. So she talks to her husband Kashyapa Muni, please suggest a way. So the Supreme, the
You're cleaning, yeah? Cleaning? Yes. I go down. It's okay, I can go down.
can you please
Hari
mute
Prabhu Jai.
yourself? So Kashyapa Muni then suggests only the Supreme Lord can help and only bhakti process can help. So he suggests a process, and then Aditi has followed it exactly according to the guidance given by her husband, who is a very exalted devotee. And then the Supreme Lord has come, and the Supreme Lord is talking to Aditi. That's the section we are in. So we are at chapter 17, text 18. त्वया चितश्चाहम् अपत्यगुप्तये पयोव्रतेन अनुगुणं समीडिता स्वांसेन पुत्रत्वम् उपेत्य ते सुतान् गुप्तास्मि मारिच तपस्यधिष्ठितः. Tvaya, by you, Architaha, being worshipped, cha, also, aham, I, apatya guptaye, giving protection to your sons, payavratena, by the payovrata vow, anugunam, as far as possible, samiditaha, properly worshipped, swa amsena, by my plenary portion. Putratvam, becoming your son. Upetya, taking this opportunity. Te sutan, to your other sons. Gopta asmi, I shall give protection. Maricha, of Kashyapa Muni. Tapasi, in the austerity. Adishtitaha, situated. Translation: You have prayed to me and properly worshipped me by performing the great Payovrata ceremony for the sake of protecting your sons. Because of Kashyapa Muni's austerities, I shall agree to become your son and thus protect your other sons. There are no purports by Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, but one thing that is of significance here in this verse, the Supreme Lord is saying, not because you have successfully completed your Payovrata worship vows, Vrata, that not because of that. Because of Kashyapa Muni's austerities, I shall agree to become your son. Because he has rendered so many austerities and executed services with love and devotion to me. He is such an exalted devotee. Because of him, you are his wife, but you have a selfish motive because you want your sons to be protected. You want your sons to get back their lost kingdom. But I agree to become your son not because you have executed this process. No, because of your husband Kashyapa Muni. That is a point to be remembered. Upadava badre prajapatiम् akalmasham mam cha bhavayati patya evam rupam avastitam. Translation: Always thinking of me as being situated within the body of your husband, Kashyapa, go worship your husband who has been purified by his austerity. See, the Supreme Lord is continuing again. Because of your husband Kashyapa, I agree to become both of your son. I will take birth as your son. So now, after this discussion is done, what you are supposed to do? That is what the Supreme Lord is telling Aditi. When you are looking at your husband, remember within that body, I am also situated. So think of me who am situated within the body of your husband, because he is in the body of all the living beings, right? As Paramatma. But you can, those who are very in exalted spiritual consciousness can see that. But we are not able to. So Aditi is also in the same position. But the Supreme Lord is telling, at least in the body of your husband, think of me being situated in the body of your husband and go worship your husband. Because why? Because he has been purified by austerities. He is not in the same material consciousness level like you or the rest of the living beings in this material universe. He is at a very exalted position. So he is fit to be worshipped because he has realized God. That's what the meaning is. He has realized God. So such realized personalities are fit to be glorified and worshipped. नैतत्परस्मा आख्येयं पृष्ठयापि कथञ्चन सर्वं सम्पद्यते देवी देवगुह्यं सुसंवृतम्. O lady, even if someone inquires, you should not disclose this fact to anyone. That which is very confidential is successful if kept secret. So Deva Guhyam, very confidential even to the demigods. So do not disclose this fact that I am going to appear as your son to anybody. Uh, So you have to keep it confidential. The meaning of confidential is it has to be kept secret. Don't go blabbering to everybody. No, 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 this is very confidential. This is very secret. I am telling only to you. Don't tell it to everyone. And then that person goes and tells other person, this is very confidential, this is very secret. I'm telling only to you, don't tell it to everyone. And in no time, everybody is knowing that. So please don't make it like that. Is the direct instruction the Supreme Lord is giving Aditi. Shri Sukha Vacha एतावदुक्त्वा भगवांस् तत्रैवान्तरदीयत अदितिर्दुर्लभं लब्ध्वा हरेर्जन्मात्मनि प्रभो उपादावत्पतिं भक्त्या परया कृतकृत्यवत्. Translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, after speaking in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead disappeared from that very spot. Aditi, having received the extremely valuable benediction that the Lord would appear as her son, considered herself very successful, and with great devotion she approached her husband. How fortunate is she? She has directly seen the Supreme Lord. She has directly spoken to the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord has directly spoken to her also, and also promised that he would appear as her son. Very great personality. So now she understood her husband is very exalted and elevated because the Supreme Lord himself has directly said it. So now, with great devotion, she is approaching her husband. Savai samadhi yogena kashyapastad abudyata pravishtam atmani harer hamsam hi avitate kshanaha. Being situated in a meditational trance, Kashyapa Muni, whose vision is never mistaken, could see that a plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead had entered within him. So now, even now, Kashyapa Muni, while Aditi was performing her austerities, vrata, Kashyapa Muni, what is he doing? He is in meditational trance. He is meditating on the Supreme Lord. Because he is meditating on the Supreme Lord with one pointed attention, so many things are revealed to him in his vision itself. And none of them are incorrect. He never makes a mistake because whose vision is never mistaken. So he could see, even though he was situated in meditational trance, he is aware of what has happened because the Supreme Lord gives him that vision. Oh, I appeared in front of your wife and I have spoken to your wife and I have agreed to become both of your child. And now he is seeing the Supreme Lord has entered him. How great a personality. And we are going to see in subsequent verses in this finishing portions of the chapter what exactly is going to happen. Sodityam viryamadatta tapasa chirasambritam samahita manarajan darun yagnim yata nilaha. O king, as the wind promotes friction between two pieces of wood and thus gives rise to fire, Kashyapa Muni, whose transcendental position was fully absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, transferred his potency into the womb of Aditi. Purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. A forest fire begins when two pieces of wood rub against one another, being agitated by the wind. Actually, however, fire belongs neither to the wood nor to the wind. It is always different from both. Similarly, here it is to be understood that the union of Kashyapa Muni and Aditi was not like the sexual intercourse of ordinary human beings. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has nothing to do with the human secretions of sexual intercourse. He is always completely aloof from such material combinations. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 29, Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I am equal to all. I am equal toward all living entities. Nonetheless, to protect the devotees and kill the demons who were a disturbing element, the Lord entered the womb of Aditi. Therefore, this is a transcendental pastime of the Lord. This should not be misunderstood. One should not think that the Lord became the son of Aditi the way an ordinary child is born because of sexual intercourse between a man and a woman. Here it may also be appropriate to explain in these days of controversy the origin of life. The life force of the living entity, the soul, is different from the ovum and semen of the human being. Although the conditioned soul has nothing to do with the reproductive cells of man and woman, he is placed into the proper situation because of his work, karmana, daiva netrena. Life is not, however, a product of two secretions, but is independent of all material elements. As fully described in Bhagavad Gita, The living entity is not subject to any material reactions. He can neither be burnt by fire, cut by sharp weapons, moistened by water, nor dried by the air. He is completely different from the physical elements. But by a superior arrangement, he is put into these material elements. He is always aloof from material contact. Asango I ayam purushaha is describing the soul. But because he is placed in a material condition, he suffers the reactions of the material modes of nature. Purusha prakriti sto hi bhungte prakriti jan gunan karanam guna sangosya sada sadyoni janmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil amongst various species. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, text 22. Although the living entity is aloof from the material elements, he is put into material conditions, and thus he must suffer the reactions of material activities. What a beautiful purport! Very beautiful purport. Prabhupada is so merciful. This verse is talking about a particular principle, and Srila Prabhupada is so kind that he is giving this purport and he is giving so many explanations to understand the context and understand the principle and how we should apply that in our daily life. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So let's see what Prabhupada is wanting us to understand. The first point that we have to understand is it's not like a normal intercourse between a man and a woman and how a child is begotten. Because there are so many people in the modern world, right? Not only in the modern world, from long time back, people have one second. The computer is saying that there is a memory issue. Okay. So the first thing is the Supreme Lord appearing as the child of Kashyapa Muni and Aditi is not just like a man woman having a union and producing a child. There is especially in the modern science, it says we are just a combination of chemicals. No, chemicals are insentient, doesn't have a life. Our scriptural understanding is life comes from life. It cannot be any other way. What is alive? A soul is alive. Except for soul, everything else in this material creation is a jada, is insentient, doesn't have life. So only Paramatma and the souls are the ones who are alive and having consciousness. Rest of the things in the material creation is jada. So when people are doing scientific experiments, they are looking at everything is jada and they can conclude that everything is jada. No, but inside the body is Paramatma and the soul, Atma and Paramatma. So that is what we have to keep in mind. That's point number one, that the Supreme Lord did not appear in the womb of Aditi just like a man having a union with a woman and producing a child. It did not happen like that. So that's why the past two verses also were telling Kashyapa Muni was feeling like, oh, the Supreme Lord has entered into him. And from him, the Supreme Lord gets transferred into the womb of his wife Aditi. So now we also have to understand what is the nature of the soul. In chapter 2, when the Supreme Lord Krishna starts speaking spiritual knowledge, at the beginning itself, he states that we are not this body. We are living beings. We think that, oh, I am this body. And every other living being thinks they are that body. No, we are not this body. We are something else. We are Atma. We are soul. And what is the nature? We are spiritual in nature. And then Krishna gives a very wonderful description. He says, the soul cannot be burnt by fire. The soul cannot be cut to pieces by weapons. It cannot be moistened by water. It cannot be withered away or dried by air, wind. There are 5 basic material elements: fire, earth, water, air, and space. Everything that has been put together, including our own body and all the planets that we see and all the other minerals and elements that we are using, all these things can be broken down into these 5 basic material elements. These 5 basic material elements are the fundamental building blocks. By combining these, so many things can be produced in so many different ways, and one can be transformed to another. All these things can happen. But the basic building blocks are these 5 material elements. And what is Krishna trying to say in this that is being quoted by Prabhupada in this purport, right? He's talking about, he is saying the Atma is completely different and superior to these 5 material elements. That's why Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, and Prabhupada is quoting it here, that the material elements doesn't have any impact on the soul. Fire, it cannot burn the soul. So nothing can, it can have an impact on the body, but not on the soul that is within the body. That is the nature of this soul. It cannot be burnt by fire. So it cannot be cut by sharp weapons. How do we make weapons? Using earth. It's a product of earth. It's a byproduct. Using so many material elements. It could be steel. It could be stone. Like that. So there are so many weapons like that. All these are uh, the basis is in earth. And then those weapons don't have any impact on the soul. So you cannot cut the soul. Then what is the point of a weapon? It cannot disintegrate the soul in any way. Okay. It cannot be moistened by water. When water falls on our body, we don't feel anything, right? It feels natural. It's not like acid, like immediately it corrodes. No, it doesn't do that. But Over a period of time, water keeps flowing and falling, 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 falling. It can even move stones and mountains. Water has that capacity, but water cannot have any impact on the soul. And same thing with wind. When there is like heavy wind, it can even move heavy equipments and heavy buildings and all those things we can see. The wind is so powerful. When a hurricane, cyclone comes, when a tornado comes, we see how powerful the wind is. So, but the wind doesn't have any impact on the soul. It cannot wither away the soul, it cannot dry away the soul. So, these material elements do not have any impact on Atma, the soul. That is what. But such a soul, Prabhupada says, by a superior arrangement, that soul is put into these material elements. That is the technology. It's a very superior technology. That's why Prabhupada is saying by a superior arrangement, karmana daiva netra, by the under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, all these things are happening. Material elements and spiritual elements are incompatible. It's like oil and water. What are the spiritual things? Paramatma is spiritual. Atmas are spiritual. Everything else that we see in this material creation, they are all material elements. So now oil and water is being brought together and being mixed by superior arrangement. That's how we who are spiritual in nature find ourselves mixed with material elements, matter. So that is what is happening. So he is always aloof from material contact. Who? The soul. Because spiritual in nature. But because the soul is placed in a material condition, that soul suffers the reactions of the material modes of nature. So now we are brought into a material creation. We are given a material body, and everything around us is material, and modes of material nature are there. Sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna, all these are acting on us. So that is why we are facing all these reactions. We are facing all these problems, issues, sufferings. All these things are happening. So that is what the proper understanding is, which is given in the beginning stages of Bhagavad Gita itself by Lord Krishna. And Prabhupada is bringing that concept and helping us to understand. So these 2 points are the main big points. One is the Supreme Lord, how just because he appeared as the child of Kashyapa Muni and Aditi, we should not assume that it's like a normal union between a man and a woman and producing a child. No, it's not like that. And second thing is understand the nature of the soul and what are all the things that are happening for us. But that is not happening for the Supreme Lord. That is the second point. Because his appearance is spiritual. In chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam. Even when I take birth, it is divyam. It is transcendental. It is spiritual in nature. Because I appear by my own spiritual energy. I am not compelled by material energy or by karma or nothing like that affects me. I just appear out of my own independent will. It's my transcendental pastime. It's a transcendental leela. So I come. Jarma is divyam and karma is also divyam. Karma means activity. I perform activities when I am here, but I am not being forced by my previous karmic reactions or by material nature. No, none of those things are applicable to me. That's applicable to all of us Atmas, but it's not applicable to the Supreme Lord. So that is what is being stressed here. Aditerdistitam garbham bhagavantam sanatanam hiranyagarbho vigyaya samide guhyanamabihi. When Lord Brahma understood that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was now within the womb of Aditi, he began to offer prayers to the Lord by reciting transcendental names. Guhyanamabihi, with very transcendental names, because the names of the Supreme Lord are very spiritual in nature, very powerful. There is no difference between the Supreme Lord and his name. So that's why we keep chanting the names, the holy names of the Lord. We chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It has Hare Krishna Rama repeatedly coming up in the mantra. And we don't just chant one mantra, we chant many rounds of that every day. So Brahma immediately, when he understood that the Supreme Lord has appeared within the womb of Aditi, the first thing Brahma is showing to us how it should be done. The first thing when we see a very elevated devotee or an acharya or a guru or the Supreme Lord, for the first thing we should do is pay obeisances. That's why when we enter the temple, we pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, who is our founder Acharya, and then we pay obeisances to all the deities standing on the altar. And then we can offer prayers, just like Brahma is showing us. So Brahma is immediately, and then how did he do? By reciting the transcendental names of the Supreme Lord. Nama Sankirtanam, Nama Japam, all those things. So, okay, purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead exists everywhere. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. Lord Brahma says in Brahma Samhita, that is that verse. Therefore, when one chants his transcendental names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is automatically pleased by such Sankirtan. It is not that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is absent, He is present there. And when a devotee utters the transcendental name, it is not a material sound. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is naturally pleased. A devotee knows that the Lord is present everywhere and that one can please Him simply by chanting His holy name. Wow. One can please the Supreme Lord simply by chanting the Lord's holy names. How easy, how simple it is. And then Prabhupada says, when a devotee utters the transcendental name, it is not a material sound. Wow. It is not a material sound. It is a spiritual sound vibration emanating from the spiritual world. Oh, we think that, oh, I am making the sound with my mouth and tongue. So I am producing this or no. But what we are trying to pronounce is the holy name of the Lord. And there are many holy names of the Lord. And these are not material sounds. That's why it's very important not only to chant, vibrate that sound with our tongue, we have to hear it. Japa means we have to chant, make that sound, and then we have to hear that sound. So very important. Sri Brahma Vacha Jayorugaya Bhagavan Urukrama Namostute Namo Brahmanya Devaya Trigunaya Namo Namaha. We also recite this mantra, right? Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. So Brahma is saying here, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Trigunaya Namo Namaha. Lord Brahma said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all glories unto you, who are glorified by all, and whose activities are all uncommon. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, O Lord of the Transcendentalists, controller of the three modes of nature. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Namo Namaha, Namo Namaha. Three Gunaya Namo Namaha means you are the controller, you are the master, you are the lord of the three gunas, the three modes of material nature. So you have got nothing to do. You are the boss. You are not under the control of the three modes of material nature. Rather, the three modes of material nature is under your direct control, under your direct supervision. Daivi Esha Gunamayi. It's under my control. And then Krishna says another thing in Bhagavad Gita. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Maya, under my, that material nature is mine and under my direct supervision. Adhyakshena. It is performing. It'll come and say, boss, what should I do? And I will tell, this is how you should. I will guide, I will control, and according to my supervision and control, Maya, material nature, works. So that Supreme Lord, you are. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again and again and again and again. That is what Namo Namaha stands for. Namaste Prishni Garbhaya Veda Garbhaya Vedase Trinabhaya Triprishtaya Shipi Vishtaya Vishnave. Bhagavatam is full of prayers and very nice prayers. How nice it is. Even though we don't know Sanskrit, we can relish the sweetness of this prayer. It's so nice when you utter it. So normally people ask, what should I pray to the Supreme Lord? There are so many prayers, starting right from the first verse of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We go through it. There are so many exalted personalities and so many exalted prayers being uttered by them. We can recite the same thing. We don't need to come up and invent a new thing. Such a nice, when we just pronounce it, it so feels good, so auspicious. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the all-pervading Lord Vishnu, who have entered the course of the hearts of all living entities. All the three worlds reside within your navel, yet you are above the three worlds. Formerly, you appeared as the son of Prishni. To you, the Supreme Creator, who are understood only through Vedic knowledge, I offer my respectful obeisances. Prishni Garbhaya. The Supreme Lord has another name, Prishni Garbha, because he appeared as this child of Prishni. So that's what Brahma is referring to here. Previously, you appeared like this. You appeared. And Krishna also reminds Vasudeva and Devaki. Previously, you were Prishni. I came as your son. So I was known as Prishni Garbha. And then I came as when you were as Kashyapa and Aditi, I came as your son. So that your pastime is happening here right now. And then later on, he appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. He appeared as Lord Krishna. So to you, the Supreme Creator, how do we understand you? Only through Vedic knowledge. Veda is the surveyor, aham eva vedyo. So his conclusion of understanding the Vedic knowledge is to properly understand the Supreme Lord. And that Supreme Lord is Lord Krishna. Swayam Bhagavan, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So to that Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances. Tvamadiranto bhuvanasya madhyam ananta shaktim purusham yamahu kalo bhavan akshi patisha vishwam shroto yatanta patitam gabiram. O my Lord, you are the beginning, the manifestation, and the ultimate dissolution of the three worlds. And you are celebrated in the Vedas as the reservoir of unlimited potencies, the Supreme Person. O my Lord, as waves attract branches and leaves that have fallen into deep water, you, the supreme eternal time factor, attract everything in this universe. Purport. The time factor is sometimes described as Kala Shrota, waves of time. Everything in this material world is within the time factor and is being carried away by waves of attraction, which represent the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Brahma is saying, you attract everything in this universe. The very name Krishna means all attractive. He attracts everything and everyone. That is why the Supreme Lord has the name Krishna. The name Krishna means all attractive. Prabhupada explains it multiple times in different purports and different talks. Akarshati yati Krishna. Akarshati means to attract. You attract everything in this universe because that's your nature. Because you are the Supreme Lord. Whatever you are, naturally you are going to attract everyone and everything. So that's what Brahma is indicating here. Tam vai prajanam stira jangamanam prajapatinam asi samba vishnuhu divaukasham deva divaschutanam parayanam naur iva majjatopsu. Translation, my Lord, you are the original generator of all living entities, stationary or moving, and you are also the generator of the Prajapatis. O my Lord, as a boat is the only hope for a person drowning in the water, you are the only shelter for the demigods, who are now bereft of their heavenly position. Purport. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 17th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Supreme Lord Agrees to Become Aditi's Son. Sthira Jangamanam is the word Brahma is using. Sthira means stationary. What are the stationary living beings? We have all these trees and plants. They are the sthira, stationary living beings. Jangamana means all the other living beings who are moving around. All these worms, snakes, and all these two-legged animals, four-legged animals, and then there are birds which are flying, and there are aquatics that which are moving in the water. So like this, there are so many Jangamana. Jangamana means moving living beings. So you are the original generator. You are the original creator of all these living beings. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, right, I am the seed giving father. So here Brahma is conveying, you are the original generator of all living beings. Stationary or because we human beings have this conception that we are the only living beings and rest of them are like useless. Not for Krishna. Every living being is his children. So when we see the grass, when we see the worms, when we see the birds, when we see the trees, when we see the plants, creepers, everything, every living being is a Atma in a different body. That's the only thing. They have a different body, I have a different body. Even human beings, we each one of us have different bodies. So the difference is there, the variety is there, but all of them are living beings. All of them are Atmas, and all of them are the children of the same Supreme Lord. And you, what did you do? you created me, Brahma, the first living being created within this material universe. Like this, there are like millions and millions of material universes, and each material universe has a Brahma. This Brahma has 4 heads. In another universe, the Brahma has 1,000 heads, and in another universe, Brahma has 1,000,000 heads. It could be different, but each Brahma is there in each material universe. But you are the original generator, not only of all the living beings, even of all the Prajapatis. I am the first Prajapati. And from me came, Prajapati means progenitors, to creators of living entities. You are the original creator of living entities, but you empower me, Brahma, also to procreate, to bring forth living beings in this material creation. And I bring forth the rishis and munis, right? They are also acting as Prajapatis. They are supporting me and helping me in serving you to do this procreation service along with other services. They are not only doing procreation, they mainly they are bringing forth so many living beings into this material universe. That is a big service they are, Brahma and the other Prajapatis are doing for the Supreme Lord. In addition to that, they might do other services also. Brahma does other services too. So he says, "Oh my Lord, as a boat is the only hope for a person drowning in the water, you are the only shelter." What specifically is saying for the demigods, because they have been deprived of their heavenly position, heavenly kingdom. How kind you are, how compassionate and merciful you are. You are just coming and taking a birth in this material universe just to help them out. Oh, how kind and compassionate and loving is the Supreme Lord. That is the point Brahma is making. And the chapter ends. We have to wait for the next chapter to see what is going to unfold. So thus we have completed Canto 8, 17th chapter. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Vyasadev, all glories to Sukadev Goswami for giving us this nectar in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for such a nectarian class, Prabhu, with so many important points. I was able to pull out a few that stood out to me. Is it okay if I just repeat them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Repeating is very good.
Union between Aditi and Kashyap should not be understood with any mundane understanding. The Lord appearing should not be understood like any other soul or jiva entering the body and experiencing the pangs of material nature. When we see any elevated devotee, we should pay our obeisances. And when a devotee chants, it's not material, it's a spiritual sound. And you said Krishna means all attractive, he attracts everything and everyone. And the last point was Lord is the original creator of all moving and non moving beings, and he is the only supreme shelter. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I'm not going to ask any questions at this point. I'll open the floor for anyone who has any questions or comments for Prabhuji. Please go ahead. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam. Looks like I have put everybody to sleep.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Morning is very busy, but still I tried my best to listen to your class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I have come. Your class is very wonderful. Actually, I thought of sharing my points with Mataji already shared. It is also good for me to recollect. And my question is, what is the difference between Prajapatis and Brahma? Because Brahma is a creator Prajapati is helping
Prajapati
Brahma
means
in what way?
Prajapati means procreator, right? Procreation means bringing forth living beings into this universe. That's what procreation means. We also procreate. We bring forth children into this world. We are also doing procreation, but on a limited scale. But they are going to do it on a universal scale. Brahma is doing that service because universe cannot be just empty. Universe has to be populated with living beings. They have to come and uh, take their karma and then experience the result reactions of their karma, and they have desires also. They have to perform activities to achieve their desires. So all these living beings have to be brought into this material universe. Not only universe, right? There are millions and millions of universes, but we will talk about only one universe, this universe. So Brahma is doing that service. So Brahma is the first created living being in this universe. And this universe has to be created, like all the planets have to be created and all the living beings have to be brought in. So he is not going to just do it by himself. So from him come the sons of Brahma. The main Prajapatis come. All these they are also going to assist Brahma in populating this universe with various living beings. So that procreation is the Prajapati portion. And then he is doing the creation also, right? He is the secondary creator, doing the creation of all the planets. When the planets are getting destroyed, he creates them again. All those things, all those services Brahma does. So that is Visarga. Sarga is the primary creation done by the Supreme Lord, and Visarga is the secondary creation done by Brahma, and there is the procreation, bringing forth all the living beings into that creation.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then Pranam or Glory to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Very nice class, Prabhuji. And good points Mataji explained. There is a verse 19 in that it was mentioned like Lord was saying to, I think, so like do not mention this secret to anyone. So I want to know, like, is the secret he's referring to, like, Lord appeared in Kashyap Munis and
That he is going to appear as the child of Kashyapa Muni and Aditi as Vamana. So
Mhm.
don't reveal that. When it comes to be known, at that time, let it be known. Until then, let it remain a secret. You don't need to go and put it on the social media right away that it becomes viral all over the world. No, you don't need to do that. Just keep it a secret that I am going to appear as your son.
Mhm. Okay, Prabhuji. And also, like the Prashni Garbha, he's the he's the incarnation of the Lord. Basically, he appeared as he promised to Prashni and Sutapa. So it was also mentioned that Prashni Garbha Lord, he appeared to Dhruva Maharaj when he was doing the tapasya.
Yeah,
So
that form.
yeah.
That form that he came as Prishnigarbha, that form, we have to keep in mind, it's an eternal form. These forms reside eternally in the spiritual world. It's not like it's being created only at this point.
Mhm.
The Prishnigarbha form is eternally existing.
So
And
is that form, Prabhu, the Prishingarbha form? My question is that form a like four-handed form
yeah,
of
it is
Vishnu?
a 400 form.
Okay.
So that 400 form appeared and then gave darshan. So all these things we understand only because of acharyas, right? They have all
Mhm.
these spiritual realizations, spiritual visions, and so forth. So they mention. And then Prabhupada brings it out and gives it to us. And Prabhupada also has such spiritual experiences and realizations. So he shares that with us. That's why Prabhupada mentioned it a few times in his talks that, yeah, just having the Bhagavad Gita verses and the Srimad Bhagavatam verses, the academically oriented people, they say, oh yeah, it's Sanskrit, I will translate the Sanskrit and it's done. No, but more than that, more important than that is the purport. So that's why we give so much importance to the commentaries of acharyas, and specifically for us, we start with the commentary purports of Srila Prabhupada because he makes it more understandable and relatable. And then we can also refer to the commentaries of other acharyas in our Guru Parampara. So that is the beauty of it.
Mhm. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This is Ratnamali Jitla Devidasi. Thank you for your class. Prabhuji, what form did Dhruv Maharaj, you said 400 arm form? Is that Lord Vishnu?
Four-armed.
Oh, four-armed. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I said, are you saying 400? I said, oh, my me. Forearm, yes. Yes, my best takeaway is that get to hear and see so many prayers being offered to Lord Krishna. So that's a big takeaway. Thank you so much, Haribol Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam. I have a quick question, Prabhu. So when you said all the living entities they take birth, and because we have to go with our karma and stuff. So does Brahma and rishis, they have their karma as well, which they have to?
They have a karma and they have also material desire to be Brahma. Brahma has the desire, that soul has a desire to be Brahma.
Okay.
And also the qualification to become Brahma. It's not only the desire. That soul is very qualified, is very exalted, very elevated soul, but still has material desires. So that highly qualified, elevated soul again has to take birth in a material universe, and but it's a very exalted position still, but still it's a material birth. As a spirit soul, we have to get free from the material body and material existence and be in the spiritual world, in the spiritual energy. So that is our natural habitat. But we are like a fish out of water when we are in the material habitat. So even Brahma is, yeah, but he has a very, very subtle material form, material body, very subtle. But it looks like a human form, but still it's a very subtle form. That is the, because that position of Brahma is so elevated. So he is like that, but it's still a material body. He's still in the material universe.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
They take up bhakti. Our Brahma takes up bhakti, has taken up bhakti. So our acharyas comment, our Brahma will not come back to a material universe again.
Wow.
But the same thing cannot be said for the other Brahmas. Each Brahma is different. But our Brahma is a pure devotee of the Lord. So after he completes his service, he is going to go back.
Thank you, Prabhu. My takeaway point is every moving and non-moving have life, and we have to respect everyone, the soul, and the Paramatma.
Yeah, all of them are our brothers and sisters because we have the same father.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the wonderful class, Raghunandan Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is regarding Krishna appearing to Aditi and Kashyapa. And in the verses we read that the Lord is pleased with Kashyapa Muni, but it is same Kashyapa Muni and Aditi, who is Yashoda and Devaki and Vasudeva. And sometimes with Devaki and Vasudeva, we think that Devaki is a greater devotee because Valsalya is greater for Mataji. So in this instance, it looks like Kashyapa is a greater devotee, but they're the same personalities. So how do we understand this?
No, in comparison to Aditi, Kashyapa Muni is in a very elevated position. That's what the Supreme Lord is pointing out. He is so exalted and elevated, so I agree to come as your child because of him. So the Supreme Lord is telling Aditi, because of him, he is so elevated, so I agree. So he's indicating to Aditi, so you properly respect and worship him, not because he is your husband. Yeah, just because he is your husband, it's a traditional Vedic tradition that the wife respects the husband, but he is more elevated than that. Is not just not like a normal wife respecting husband, but you go and worship him in that understanding, in that consciousness that he is much elevated spiritually.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, because it's the same personality, Vasudev and Devaki, so should we understand that Vasudev is a more exalted devotee than Devaki?
Yeah, it's like that consciousness that Vasudeva has is at a very high level. The Supreme Personality himself has come as their child. In the other previous two, it was like a plenary portion. Plenary is like full manifestation of the energies. There's no doubt. It's not like it's not exhibited in the past times, but the full potency is there. That's the meaning of the word plenary. Plenary contains the full, all the potencies and energies of the Supreme Lord. But Swayam Bhagavan himself is coming in the when he appeared as the child of Vasudeva and Devaki. So it's the that's why it's like the summum bonum is the word that Prabhupada uses, right? Summum bonum. He's the real deal. That real deal has come. Swayam Bhagavan has come as the child. So how exalted Vasudeva and Devaki are. My God, mind blowing.
Yes, the three times they got to be parents.
Yeah,
Prishni Garbha, sorry, Prishni and Suttapa and Aditi Kashyapa and Vasudev Devaki.
they are so blessed. But Krishna says, my eternal parents are Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, so I'll go and play in their courtyard.
Yes, exactly. This is what I was going to say, that these are very short term pastimes with when Krishna appears as either as Vamana
Even
or
it's a moment, even if it's a moment, Vasudeva and Devaki are blessed, fully blessed.
but they don't enjoy it. They don't relish that
Right?
because Devaki is so
No,
much
no,
scared the moment
you are
he
looking. No,
appears.
no, 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 no. You are looking in terms of like a material conception. That one moment is good enough for them. And not only that, after that, he came back to get them released from Kamsa. And then he spent lots of time with them. He did not exhibit the Vrindavan pastimes, the childhood pastimes. They did not see it or directly experience it. But he gave them so many experiences in so many different ways. Why are you discounting that? Because that's our material consumption. We switch it off, we deprecate and discount all of this thing. No, in all those other interactions, the spiritual bliss that they are experiencing is the same. And the Supreme Lord himself came and said, okay, you are my father, you are my mother. And he touched their feet and paid obeisances to them when he met them back again in Mathura later on. And Vasudeva and Devaki sat Krishna on their laps and shed tears of joy. They embraced him and they kissed him, kissed his face. All those things he accepted from them, and he gave that.
But it's not the same kind of
That's what I'm
pleasure that
but it has a
Yashoda
material
and Nandam.
conception. If you are not able to understand it, that's fine. But I'm trying to give an explanation, but you are not considering it.
Okay, so from yeah, it's from material point of view, but you're saying spiritually, if we look at it spiritually, they are
No,
still.
you are just you are saying, oh, this is in this transaction. No, it's not like that. It's not a transaction. Hanuman is serving as a servant to Rama. That doesn't mean that he did not get spiritual bliss like what others did.
Mm.
Yeah, he said, "What? Yeah, I like being in this position of a servant, but the spiritual bliss being experienced by Hanuman with Rama is the same." And same thing with Krishna, like Arjuna and Krishna, they are in the Sakya Rasa, right? The bliss he is experiencing is the same bliss that the gopis are experiencing with Krishna in the conjugal love.
Correct, yes, Prabhuji.
So that's why I'm saying don't discount it based on our material conceptions and material filters. We have to listen to our acharyas and accept their explanations and think on it, meditate on it, then it becomes clear. We are still trying to understand it with our mind. We have to approach it with our bhakti. Then the bigger understanding is there.
Thank you so much for the explanation, Prabhuji.
It's Prabhuji. Actually, Krishna spent more time with Devaki and Vasudev than with Nanda and Yashoda also, right? Because only till 11 years he was there in Vrindavan.
And Dwaraka, they spent more time.
And he brought back the 6 kids also to Devaki for some time.
Yeah. So the reciprocation from Krishna to them has been there always. But we glorify the childhood pastimes in Vrindavan because they are so rare, so intimate. It's totally on a different level. But that doesn't mean that like Vasudeva and Devaki were ignored. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta. Thank you so much for this wonderful class as always. I wanted to ask you, I heard this that I'm not sure if it's true that Devki was Kekai in her previous birth. Is it true?
Devaki, Kaikeyi?
She was in her previous birth Kekai.
I have not heard that.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I will disconnect. Thank you so much for the class, Haribol.
Anybody else? Any thoughts, any corrections? I just want to say, like, I just give my understandings. I explain what I have understood. I could be wrong. If there are any incorrect explanations or if I have misstated anything, my apologies, and please feel free to correct me so that I can improve also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, I just want to know, how, a soul can be present in a stationary object.
That's a higher technology. That's why Prabhupada uses the word superior arrangement. Only the Supreme Lord can do it, or those who are empowered by him can understand it. Brahma does, and maybe some of the acharyas, they have that empowerment to understand that. But it's a very superior technology. I can give you an example. How many of us know to build a car? We do not know. What's the technology? We do not even know how to repair it. We take it to a mechanic shop to get it repaired because they know, they have that knowledge, so they repair it. So it's a higher technology that we do not know, but we can use it even without knowing it, how it is built. So that is the same principle here. It's a very higher technology. The Supreme Lord can do it, make things happen. And there is one discussion that happens. I don't recall exactly which canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is, but the all the material universe, the raw structure is built, and Brahma is there, and few of the demigods are there, but they don't have the capacity to manipulate all these material elements. And then immediately they pray to the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord then comes and then makes it possible for these material elements to be manipulated, because they have to bring these material elements to build something, to transform one element to another. All those things cannot happen without the Supreme Lord being present.
Mm.
So he brings that,
Mm.
because he is all these material elements. The ultimate source is the Supreme Lord.
Mm.
And with so that section of Srimad Bhagavatam, I have found it to be very profound, because it clearly says we just are using material elements, we are transforming one thing to another, and we are thinking that, oh, I am building this, I am making this, I am making these products, all those, and we become puffed up. But even Brahma does that, and sometimes he becomes puffed up. Oh, I'm creating the universe itself. But ultimately, the understanding, the knowledge, and the power, ability to do all these things is coming from Krishna.
Mm.
And all these things to be put together to build something, to transform to something else, all that comes from Krishna, that ability also. So he gives us that, because otherwise, to move these material
Mm.
elements and things is impossible, as found in that section of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Mm. Yes, I get it.
And then the light goes on. Wow,
Mm.
how great he is.
Mhm. Mm. Thank you, Prabhu, for explaining. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. One question just came to me from Ipsita Mataji's question. So, is there a soul in when we say there's soul in stationery? I was thinking there's soul in plants and trees. Are we talking about mountains, rocks? If there is there a soul in them, and if not, then we worship Shaligram Shila, right? So, what is the connection? If you could shed some light on that.
Yeah, but Prabhupada had lots of room conversations about stone also being a living being. But not all stones, but there are some stone. So we hear about mountains flying in Puranas, and then their wings were cut off, and then they became stationary. We hear about that in Puranas too. So, and then there is another aspect when they are making deities out of stones. Not all stones are suitable for carving deities. There are some specific stones, and in that Shilpa Shastra for carving stones to make deities, they call living stones and dead stones. So they specifically are looking for living stones and a specific type of stone to carve a specific set of deity. It's a very detailed subject matter. So they in that also they are talking about living stones and dead stones. And then we have this Leela from Ramayana, right? Ahalya becomes cursed to become a stone.
Yes.
And then she comes back, her curse is relieved when after it gets touched by the feet of Rama, curse is relieved and she comes back to her original form as Ahalya. So when she was in that stone form, she was still having a very dormant consciousness, but the consciousness was still there because that was the curse. And then the consciousness is a little more evolved in the trees and plants compared to a stone, but still they are not moving around, they are experiencing something, they can experience a little more. And then when it goes into the higher forms of life, and then finally when we reach the form of human beings, the consciousness and intelligence, everything is at its highest level for that soul, right? So at least that's my understanding. That's how I understand the room conversations of Prabhupada. That conversation is very mind blowing because we are not used to thinking stones as a living being, but Prabhupada talks from that perspective. There are like couple of conversations like that where he talks about, it's just like mind blowing. We are thinking of modern science and modern thinking, it looks like totally contradictory, but Prabhupada is one who is like a scripture man. He has 100% belief and faith in scriptures, and also his bhakti and his experience and knowledge and everything in bhakti. So when he says something, yeah, we might not be able to resolve the contradiction, but there must be some truth in it that I might understand later on.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you
And then
so
you
much.
talked about Shalagram Shila. They are the Purana and others. The understanding is it's a manifestation of Vishnu in that form, Shalagram stone. It's a manifestation of Vishnu in that form. So the Supreme Lord can manifest in so many different forms. He can also manifest himself as Archa Vigraha, right? The deity form. And he also manifests himself as the Shalagram stone. So that is why we worship Shalagram stone as Vishnu himself.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. It was very wonderful to hear you and have your association enlightening on so many things. Yeah, just hearing about the discussions, what about the material objects we discuss. You mentioned, yes, like what Prabhupada said, that maybe some correlation, like there are some temples, like one of the temple, like Bhavani Mata's temple in Maharashtra, Tuljapur, where there is one stone, whether it has it's a belief stone or it's a power stone by the goddess Bhavani Mata, that they put one coin there and the stone is almost circular, like a small globe, and if you put your hand on that and pray what you want, and it will rotate into right direction. And if it rotates into left direction, then it's supposed to not happen. So yeah, something can be correlated, but people have belief on at that place, and when it goes right, it happens. When it goes left, it just wanted to mention.
Yeah, that's why the Shilpa Shastra, they talk about living stones and dead stones. So they specifically look for living stones and a specific type of stone to carve specific murtis like Narsimha or I'm not even talking about like thousands of years ago. Even the Narsimha deity that we have in Mayapur, that was carved in um, Kumbakonam in Tamil Nadu state. So
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
that happened like only like 20, 30 years ago, right? Or 40 years ago, maybe
Yeah.
max. So in that Stapati who was carving the deity, Prabhupada's disciples were interacting with him throughout that process, right? Like they were scouting to find who can do that, and then they found this sculptor. And then because these are not like normal stone carvers, these are like deity carvers. They are you will hardly find one or two people in the entire world,
Yeah.
because it's such a exalted knowledge and exalted skill, and the way he goes through, he takes lots of austerities and vratas even before he starts the first carving, first chiseling. So the Stapati who was carving the deity. So it's a very involved, very high level, deep spiritual aspects and process.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Yeah. That's the reason, like it is said, the Mayapur deity is having the life. It's a real deity. Even though it's carved from stone. So there is. I think you also mentioned few things about that deity and carving last time in your
Yeah.
previous class as well. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. This thought came to me even yesterday and today when you mentioned about Krishna's parents and whether Nand Maharaj or whether it's Vasudev, how much blissful it must be to be Krishna's parents, that they are leaving Vaikuntha Lok and they're coming to on this earth as humans, uh, to have pastimes with Krishna. How nice it must be for them, and how exalted you have to be to actually come and associate with him day and night like that. So
For him to come and call you mother,
yes,
and
mother
for
and father, and the feeling they must be getting just doing the pastimes with Krishna, like on earth, like actually there
spiritual bliss,
performing the pastimes.
spiritual bliss.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
And then we can get the same bliss by praying to and serving Vasudeva and Devaki. That is the beauty. We can get the same bliss that Yashoda is experiencing just by serving Yashoda or serving the servants of Yashoda.
Prabhu, and what about like when we read about it also, we get the same
Yeah.
bliss.
How we don't have any qualifications, but we are reading and hearing and we are getting bliss. We are blessed with it. So that's the potency of those pastimes and those personalities.
Prabhu, can I ask one question? It always comes to me. So can I ask you that
Yeah,
question?
yeah, go ahead.
So different services that we offer to Krishna, sometimes we are not offering those services out of any love, or like let's say the garland makers on the streets, they are making garlands because that's their source of income. but then the garlands are directly being offered to the Lord. So do they still get some merits for that service? Like,
Agyata Sukriti. Rupa Goswami calls it Agyata Sukriti. Without knowing, because they are just many of the garland makers might be doing it with devotion too, and also getting money to maintain their livelihood. But typically, garland making, garland making is a main thing in India. So let's talk about India. There are many garland makers. They are just doing it as a business or a profession to make money. But ultimately, when it ends up being offered to the Supreme Lord, it's indirectly they are doing a service to the Supreme Lord. That's what Rupa Goswami calls as Agyata Sukriti. So I will give you another example. There might be a family member or a known friend to us who is not a firm believer in God and who doesn't do any service to God or worshiping. But that person is going to the market or a grocery store and we are saying, can you get me this fruit for me or this flower for me? And I offer it to Krishna, but that person is the one that went and purchased that item on behalf of me. So that person is also getting benefit, Shukriti. That's what Rupa Goswami calls as Agyana Shukriti. So that is the beauty of devotees existing in this world. Just by one devotee existing in this world, either directly or indirectly, somebody is coming into contact with that devotee, and somebody is directly or indirectly doing something for the devotee or to Krishna. So all those Agyata Sukritis start accumulating, which is very powerful. It is going to give a big dividend later on in their lifetime, in this lifetime or in their future lifetime. So we can all know that somehow or other we have got an Agyata Sukriti like that from some devotee in our past, in the past, in this lifetime or in our past lifetimes. So that's why we are in Bhakti right now.
thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, to understand what you mentioned just now, so if we are, suppose for prasadam, we are serving kheer, so that rice that comes from the paddy field, even that farmer will be,
And that plant also.
yeah, okay.
And the milk that is coming from the cow that is being offered to Krishna, that cow is also getting the benefit.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
So
Very, very.
that is the potent, that is the powerful nature of bhakti. So anything that is being done for Krishna that way is everybody who is involved in that chain is going to get that benefit.
Yes, Prabhuji.
That's why many times people ask me, oh, in my family, my husband is not interested, my children are not interested, but we are interested in bhakti. So we can do bhakti just by us. We are not elevated devotees. I'm not saying that. Even in our level, in our beginning stage, we are doing something in bhakti, and we are. My spouse is earning the salary, and I'm using that salary in serving Krishna and Krishna's devotees. My spouse is getting benefited. Similarly, my children, I say, hey, can you go and pluck some flowers for me? Or you are going to the grocery store, can you get something for me? Or can you stitch this for me? They like stitching or knitting something. So they are stitching and knitting, but I am offering that as the dress for the deities or a shawl for the deities. So many, we just have to think.
Yeah.
There are so many millions of opportunities where we can directly or indirectly engage everybody. And Prashadam, who doesn't like eating food?
Yeah.
So that's why we give Prashadam to even the birds and the squirrels and the dogs and the cats. They are getting that mercy. Bhakti is going to them. and we can chant for them, and that sound vibration is going into their ears. They don't understand it, but the medicine is going to work.
Yes, Prabhuji, very right. But the thing is, Prabhuji, one more question comes from this is that when the paddy field or the rice is being sold, that person is selling for money.
That doesn't matter. Krishna is not looking for ultimately that is being offered to him, and Krishna says, "We are all involved in that." Even the business merchants who are in they are going to get Agyata Sukruti. They are going to get some credits being deposited into their spiritual bank account. And it is going to keep growing. And when that keeps growing, at some point of them they are going to become a little more purer in their thinking consciousness, and they are going to be more receptive when some devotee is coming or handing a book, or they become curious to know something. So that is the result of this agyata sukruti piling up in their spiritual bank account.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Dhanvat Pranam. Prabhuji, one more question just came to my mind. Regarding the Shaligrama, what like we see many of the ISKCON devotees or even non-devotees, like non-ISKCON devotees, they keep Shaligram at their home, and I have seen some devotees, like who carry that Shaligrama stone with them. There was one devotee, I don't remember the name, but he used to carry the Shaligram everywhere, wherever he goes, like, so is there any significance specifically, like one has to keep it continuously with them,
Okay,
or
they have to be continuously worshipped. So if we cannot carry them, they have to leave them with some devotees. If they cannot leave them with some devotees, they carry them the Shaligram deities with them, and it is also easier to carry. Like you can put it in a safe box, and then it's easy to transport yourself. So that's why they say okay, and then they want to serve. They have to worship them every day. So they say, no, I cannot even let go of one day without worshiping my
yeah,
deity. So they carry. And the form also makes it easier to carry.
yeah. Yeah, because I remember like one of the Prabhujis, very senior Prabhujis, he offered me, he's still doing the seva, but he offered me,
Mhm.
would you like to continue later after me?
Yeah.
So, but he said you should not miss a single day without worshipping Shaligram,
Yeah,
so that is the
that's one
significance.
of the things. So that's why they either they find a suitable devotee who can be trustworthy to do
Mm,
that, or they carry it themselves with them. And it's easier to carry because there some of them are
yeah,
small.
small.
Even if they're little bigger stones, they can put them in a very good box and carry.
Mm,
It's not that heavy too,
yeah,
like our deities, like made of
yeah,
stone and metal. It's can become
yeah.
very heavy, but these salagram stones are easily carryable. So they say, okay, I'll carry it with me and I will worship wherever I am at.
Yeah, yes, so yeah, it's very auspicious, yeah, we have traveled with those devotees, and like, suddenly I saw, while preaching, preaching activities, we saw he was also one of the supposed to be speaking that day, that tour, and fine day, like the same morning, he like it's a Mangalarti time, and I saw him worshiping. So it was really auspicious. A painting before that, Abhishekam and everything, and it has to be performed very,
Energy itself
yeah, yeah,
transforms in the home.
yeah. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Nice discussion today. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you all.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this nectar class and wonderful question answer and the beauty you explained about Bhakti Yoga and Ajnana Sukruti. Like I remember my counselor, my friend, in the beginning, she was engaging us in the different services, and then how it how slowly we progress in our bhakti. So that's the beauty of Bhakti Yoga, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you for
Hare
patience
Krishna.
with me.
Panchakalpataru.
Hare Krishna.
Let's pray persons. If nobody has any question, we can end up the call here. Okay.
पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा
कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय
जय
नमाचार्य
Srimad Bhagavatam.
जय
Jai.
शिला प्रभुपाद की जय
जय
Thank
His
you,
Grace
Prabhuji.
Thank
Raghunandan
you,
Prabhu ji की
Prabhuji. Hare
जय
Krishna.
जय
all assembled devotees की जय
जय
Enjoy.
दंडवत प्रणाम everyone
Thank you so
Pranam.
much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol. Hari
Hare
Bol.
Hari
Krishna.
Bol.